Hey there, Carolyn with Road and Country. So today I'm doing something a little bit different, and for you all out there who are not mechanically inclined like myself, but would like to try to fix something on your own, on your vehicle, you know, there's a lot of YouTube videos out there. You know, try to see if you can find one as close as you can that will give you an idea of how to do the work. Obviously I wouldn't take an engine apart and do it, but you know, just for little things. So today, my turn signal arm, which also operates the high beams and low beams, quit working. And so I went and picked up the part, and it's basically just get the part out, plug it back in, but it's, you know, you do have to unscrew a bunch of things to get to it. So the videos that I've watched, for some reason the way that where they have to unscrew and do things is a little different than my truck. I haven't been able to find one that's identical, but I kind of get the gesture of what needs to get done. So as I'm working on this, I'm gonna try and like videotape a little bit of what I'm doing. This is really new to me as far as doing any kind of YouTube videos fixing stuff like this, so bear with me. I don't have anybody to hold the phone for me, so I may cut in and out as I'm working on it to just kind of show you more or less what I'm trying to do with it. So I'm going to switch the phone around. Okay, so what I'm looking to do here is the arm. And so the first things that I've done is I've loosened I've loosened this screw, and then there's another screw right here and another screw right here. And so more or less what's happening now is it's allowing me to take this out. Now, in order for this plate to come out, I'm gonna have to probably unscrew this. It's a little snug on there, so I'm not sure. Let's see how difficult this is gonna be. I don't know if the whole thing is turning, or let's see here. Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna have to unscrew it. And of course that's the arm that will adjust the steering wheel. So there we go, got the part off. Let's stick it down here so I don't lose it. Alright, and then now all I gotta do is get in here and continue unscrewing this. And I'm really hoping that this plate will just come off where I can access where I need to access. Of course, you know, it all seems real easy when you first start, and then you run into a bunch of other stuff. So, let's see here. And the odd thing is on these screws, they're not like, they're at an angle, so it's hard to get to them just right. I'm just praying I can get them back in there okay. Let's see here. Okay, we're making some headway here. Okay, so now I'm going to do this one. Oh, where are you, Mr. Screw? One just came out. I think maybe this one is the one that's still kind of hung up. At least if the screws fall down, they go right down on the floorboard, so you don't end up losing them. That's one advantage. Okay, I'm getting there slowly but surely. Alright, this screw here. And for you guys who do like YouTube videos a lot and stuff, if you could just maybe give me some comments on like what you guys use to hold the phone or whatever, just anything that would make my life a little easier on these. I'm just a single gal living on the farm, and you know, without having someone around the help. You know, I've been having to do a lot of stuff on my own, and I didn't used to do a lot of that. You know, I don't know, I guess it's just, you know, you have that fear, like, oh, what if I mess it up? Well, I mean, can't mess it up any worse than it is right now. I guess it's broke, it needs to be fixed. Except for worst case scenario, I can't get in there, then I'll just have someone work on it, I guess. That's all you can do. So I think this is loose now. Okay, yeah. I don't know where it's hung up. I think, so they say on the ignition, in order to get the ignition out, that to pull it out, you gotta do something with this little button of a majig thing right here. And I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So I'm probably gonna pause the video right now and figure out what they're talking about on that, and then I'll come back. Okay, figured it out. All right, so basically, this is the ignition right here. Okay. There's a little hole under here. I'll find it again. Yeah, so right here, little hole, and there's like a little peg that you push in, and as you're pushing in, you're more or less, you turn your key forward, and then you pull it out. Okay, so that's it. It's just you got your key, and as you're pushing the peg in, you more or less you work the key out, so you can see where it's locked back in now. So I'm gonna basically just do it again. Oh, I don't know if I can phone where you can see what I'm doing here. I don't know if that works or not. Anyway, so you gotta find, there's a little port. If I can find it again. Okay, there's the port. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push in, and I'm going to twist as I pull. It takes a little bit of play. Well, now that I say that, it was easier. Alright, you get the idea. I'm going to try to get this off again, and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Alright, so I managed to get the ignition plug out. So now it's going to be, basically we just got to work on getting this piece off, and then this bottom piece off. So this bottom piece here, let's see, what is it caught on? I think I might need to, I think there's still a screw that's not completely, yeah. I feel like these screws just, they're like never-ending screws. There we go. Whew. Alright, that's off. And then, now, I'm probably going to have to bring the steering wheel down. So now that I don't have the steering thingy here to adjust it, I'm just going to put my screwdriver right in there. Let's see here if I can hold that up like that. And then, I was hoping I could use the screwdriver. Maybe I'll just need to put the arm back on there just for a minute so I can tilt the steering wheel down. It might be all the way down, I don't know. I thought I had it up a little bit more. Let's see if that's... Hang on a second here. There we go. Okay, that's exactly what I was trying to do. Get that steering wheel to come down. All right, now this piece here should come right out. Okay, we're making headway. Ooh, that's gross. All right, I'll probably need to go get a little vacuum cleaner or something, or a little brush to clean all that up, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I got everything cleaned off and ready to pull, and this is going to be, I believe, a T20. I think these are T20s, the screw right there that I'm going to have to get this out, and then there's another one right there on the bottom. So I'm going to get me a T20 and start unscrewing those. Okay, it is a T20, and so basically I'm just going to unscrew this one. Okay, and then we're going to unscrew this one. Well, maybe. Okay, so we're going to unscrew that. Okay. So now, that means my whole arm right here that I need is loose. And I'm going to get my new part real quick. Sorry for the phone going everywhere. This part was $83, by the way. I have no idea how much they would have charged me to do this. Okay, so basically this is the new arm right here. So it's going to go in there. And so I'm going to need a flathead, I think, to get some of these undone. So give me a second. Okay, so basically to undo these, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to press down on this piece right here as you pull on that, and then you're just going to basically disconnect it this way. So there's going to be another connector right here. So again, I'm going to do the same thing, and I can't do this with, it's hard to do with one hand. No idea if that'll work or not, but basically what I want to do is I'm just going to push on this part. And there we go. Okay, so I got that part off. And so now I'm just going to take my new part, and everything should just plug right back in. So we're going to take this plug, and it's going to go right on the bottom. And then you want to hear that click, so you know it's in there. Okay. And then we're going to take this one, and we're going to click it in there. Alright, so here we go. I got the new part in. Oops, sorry. Well, I keep, sorry you guys, this is really my first video, so I apologize. But, alright, so we got the, and it looks like it's working. Perfect. Let me see if I've got lights. Let's see if I can get my lights. Well, I can't tell right now if we got lights or not. Let's see if they work. Yay, we got lights! Yeah, we got lights. Alright. So now, basically I just got to screw everything back in. So we're going to start, we're just going to do a reverse. So we're going to put these little screws back in. the T20s. And then once I'm done with that, I'll come back. I'm going to get them in there and then I'll come back. Okay, so I got that back on. It seems like everything's working good. I got my turn signals are working, my hazards are working so far, and my lights are working. Now, one thing I did not check is the high beams. Make sure the high beams are working. Yeah, it looks like they're working. Probably don't have the brightest lights in the world, but it is an old truck. Alright, so now the fun part is going to be reassembling all the things. What I'm going to do here, take a short break and actually wash these because they're pretty nasty. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so now we're going to need to put these pieces back together. I'm just going to slide it this way. And hopefully everything just goes right back in the way it's supposed to. Okay. Main thing with these plastic pieces, especially with an older truck, take your time, go slow, because you'll have another problem if you break it. There's my, okay, hazards right there. Perfect. I think we got it in there. Okay, so now I'm going to need to probably lift the arm back up to the steering wheel. So I'll stick that back in there. And that way I can raise the steering wheel up. And there. Okay, I just got the steering wheel back up. Take this arm back out, and now we're going to need to put. Okay, I need to put this piece back in together. Make sure I've got the right. Let me see here. Yeah, that's the way it goes, I think. Remember which way I had this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's gonna go back in like that. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, like that. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is at least get one of these screws in, because they're the little clips that's on this, they're not, I don't know, they're not really like considered true clips. So I'm gonna get one of these screws in there, so then I can kind of show you. So as you can see right there, there's a little clip here and here, and then there's a clip here and here, but they're just more to hold the piece kind of together. It doesn't really hold it. So I'm gonna try to get a screw in there just so at least I can I don't have to fight with it. Okay, I got the one screw here put back on. This looks like it's pretty secure. So now I'm going to have to follow up with this side, and then, like I said earlier a minute ago, I got to figure out where this little wire, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little wire right here that I need to figure out where it goes. Once I figure that out, then I'll put the ignition back in there. Alright, I think I figured out where that wire went, actually. So on the inside of the ignition, it runs along the side right here. So now I'll put the ignition back in, and we'll see if that actually is what did it. Well, ignition works. Let's see, high beams, low beams, that turn signal. Yep, looks like it's working. Perfect. Okay, so let's see now. Alright, that's back in there and locked. Okay, so now we're done just about. I just got to put in these two last screws to screw the two plates together on this side, and we'll call it a day. So yeah, yep, so for you guys who are a little hesitant about doing things yourself, you know, give it a shot, you know. I mean, I just kind of just winged it, and I fixed it. So it cost me a whole $89 for the part, and I don't know, probably would have cost me $200 or $300 for somebody to fix it, and it didn't take but, I don't know, maybe an hour. If I knew what I was doing, like from the get-go, I probably would have done it faster. And again, I apologize for the video as far as it being like all over the place. I look pretty frazzled right now because it's really hot outside right now. Yeah, go ahead and put in your comments. Oh my gosh, I'm so dirty too from all the sweat. Put in the comments, you know, what you think, if that's helpful. I mean, obviously, if you don't have the same vehicle as I do, it might not be, but just maybe to empower you to do something yourself and try something yourself. You know, start small, and you know, as you get more confident with yourself and fixing things yourself, then you can get a little bit better at it. Never, you know, never too young, never too old to try something new, right? All right, well, I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you.